Hi everyone, welcome to the Radiant Women podcast episode 3. Today we are going to cover a very pertinent topic, that is criticism and women. The Harvard study showed that a woman in her lifetime has to face 5 times more criticism than a man. We all know how it goes. Tolerating criticism has been a part of our culture, a part of our upbringing. हाँ इतना तो सुनना ही पड़ता है is a very common homely language that you all must be familiar. Let's face the reality of it. Today we have with us a very radiant woman, Mrs. India Elite 2024 TIGP and psychologist and corporate trainer. Dipti, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience briefly?
Hi everyone, I'm Dipti Baliga Naik. I'm a co-founder of Blueprint Learning, which we are completely into attitude transformation. I love speaking, I love people, and I'm honored to share that I have won the title of Mrs. India Elite 2024 by the International Glamour Project.
Okay, Dipti.
And I'm so excited to be on this podcast with Dr. Swain.
Thank you so much. Dipti and I share a great deep bond. Would you like to tell the audience how we met and how is it going, very briefly in 2 lines?
Yes, it's the most I would say unlikely friendship which kept everybody guessing, because we were supposed to be in this competition. You have to be like really better than the best, and yet the camaraderie we shared, the bonding that we had, it sure did leave everybody guessing that what's happening. Is it really possible that two competitors, can be friends? So that's how it was with you, and I think the warmth and the genuineness that you had, I think it broke all those barriers. And I just saw you as a friend and as a person, not really as a competitor. I think that's the key.
Thank you so much. So Dipti is one of that persons that I met through pageantry, and thank God I joined pageantry, because without her my life right now would be totally incomplete. So we talk almost every day about every areas of our life. This bond has been so deep and intellectual. Dipti being a psychologist and I being a psychiatrist, our conversations have no end. So to give you a glimpse of our conversation today, we are going to share the power of friendship to the entire world. So let's begin. We are going to play a game, that is three questions to each we are going to ask about women and criticism. It's going to be fun. So Dipti, first question for you is, criticism, it hits differently when it comes from your own people and when it comes from outsiders, from a distant friends, or from a complete stranger. So how do you really categorize and how you strategize to deal with these different kind of criticisms that we often get on our daily basis?
Okay. So, Dr. Swayam, I must confess, and of course, you know me so closely, so you know that I'm a sensitive being. So, despite being a psychologist, conducting all these workshops, I do get impacted by the criticism. So, when you talk about outsiders, I think it has a lesser impact, because I prioritize more on my people or the ones who are close to me. So, when the outside people would criticize in different ways, it could simply be by not acknowledging your presence or trying to belittle. I do feel upset, but I'm able to overcome it faster, because I feel that the intentions that they have may not be for my best, and they may be having their own frustrations, they may be having their own insecurities. There's so much of baggage, so I reason out like that and I'm able to overcome it faster. Now, when the criticism from our own people happens, it's usually in a disguised form. And when I do get upset, I try to also give the reason. I talk about their motivations also here. So what happens is, especially after the pageantry journey, when you're leveling up, when you're changing, when you're transforming, when you're working on your fitness, when you're working on your appearance, when you're working on so many things, our loved ones, our family, our friends, they also cannot handle the new you.
Yeah, definitely.
So it doesn't always happen. It may be very subtle. I've been very fortunate to have a very good social support from my loved ones. But even then, even when there's a little resistance, I think that why not give them some more time to digest or accept and get used to this new journey. And when I think of it from that angle, I automatically start feeling better. Yes.
So it is like hurt people. Like someone is having a bad day, they will give you a bad day. So it's a transmission of our inner mental states that come up as criticism.
Yes.
So understanding
Yes.
their mental states gives us an insight and gives us the power to handle the criticism.
Absolutely.
Okay.
It's often not about us. It's not.
It's
It's
not about
not
us,
about
yeah.
us. It's usually about people. So if you're a little compassionate of what they are going through,
Yeah.
I know it's not easy. That helps.
Yes.
Yeah.
So compassion is the key. Not every time, but a lot of times compassion helps you to, handle this kind of criticisms of daily basis.
Yes.
Okay, now your turn.
Yes. Yes. I want to tell you personally that I'm so proud of you because
Thank you.
we have a decade, between us, and you are someone who's really on a rapid rise. Okay, you've been a WHO Fights influencer. You've been a psychiatrist, a leading sexologist. You've written so many books. You won the Mrs. India first runner up with the International Glamour Project, and and there's so much more to you, which can't be captured. And you are this person who's so proactive. You keep you don't wait for things to happen. You make things happen.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
With this rapid rise, what kind of resistance or criticisms you may have faced from people,
Yes.
and how did you overcome them?
A very touching question. Thank you for calling my rise as rapid, because in my
Yes.
mind it should be more rapid.
Oh my God!
Been a very, very ambitious woman, and I'm very proud of it. It comes definitely from my mother, because she's a working woman in that era in India where very less women were working. So she was working, she was managing home, cooking for so many people, doing it all. I won't say that doing it all is a good thing, but she was doing it all, and I somehow got inspired by her, and one day I wanted to become like her. So today, whatever I am is a replica of her. I try to do whatever I can, all these things, which appear a lot to the other people, but in my mind, I think it's totally basic and I can do so much more. So I keep my mindset like that. And in this rapid rise, who are the people who know me very closely, they know that this is my baseline. For someone who is new, for someone who has just entered my life, someone who has just become my friend, they just say the statement, oh come on, just relax a bit, you need to slow down, you need to breathe a little. I am breathing. This work is my breathe, the work is my play. I don't actually take it as work, because whatever I do with passion. Psychiatry is a passion for me. All the patients I see, I really enjoy seeing them. Then I entered this thing of pageantry very recently, and I really enjoyed the company, the glamour world. I always liked those heels, gowns, but I never could find time for all this, because
Yes.
medical field is a very demanding field. It takes over your entire youth. Last 15 years and almost 10 years in psychiatry, so I never had a time to try out this different kind of heels and gowns. You don't take out time to go shopping for a just like that. But when you have a cause, when you have the pageantry as a cause, that really gave me a good break.
Yeah.
And I discovered that I am enjoying it a lot. So I would describe myself as a multi-passionate person, and
Yes.
whatever I do with passion, so it doesn't ever feel like a burden. But then to the people who are looking at it, they think that she's running after something, she wants to get something. There have been very lot of statements. I'll give you certain statements like, usko to जीवन जिंदगी में चैन नहीं है, she just wants to achieve, she's very selfish, she's self obsessed is the thing. Recently, one of my friend, after this pageant journey, she started telling me, oh, you are very self obsessed. And then different kind of statements, I had in fact written down some of these statements. The different kind of statements, like when the day I own Crown, the very next day I traveled and I joined my work, because medical field is a very demanding field. You cannot skip work whatever you are doing. So the next day I joined work, and the next day I got a comment from my senior that anybody could have got the crown by paying money. So, but it was
Right.
not like that. The pageant we had joined was not the one that you can pay money. So many women out there, so many gorgeous women went home crying because they wanted the crown, because it was their dream and they could not achieve it. And we had to fight so hard for the crown. We had to, you and I shared the journey. So it's so emotional this time to share it, because you know how it was, like those social media challenges, doing those challenges in between your daily life, in between your professional life. What a hard work it was. And at that time I was working in Puri. I was traveling like 60 kilometers to and fro 3 times a week, and then managing all this. So I know, I and you, we know what we have gone through. So anybody commenting like that okay, ये तो
Yeah.
कोई भी कर लेता, ये तो कोई भी पैसे दे के कोई भी crown. And also there were comments like you are wasting money, you are wasting time. And also a lot of people, you know, when you are married and when you are in this age, a lot of people will criticize you for your drive, for your ambition. They'll be like, अरे ये तो this is the childbirth time, ये तो बच्चा पैदा करने का टाइम है, बच्चा पैदा करने के टाइम में she is doing modeling. And recently I'll tell you, so different angles of criticisms are there from different people. Recently I got a criticism. There was a conference, I could not go to it. It was I had an important role in it, but I could not go to it for some health issue. So somebody commented that, oh, she's so busy in modeling, she can't come. So people not understanding your struggle, people not understanding what you are doing on a daily basis to give that image, inspiring image. My aim is always not to inspire people, to show them what is possible. And to show them what is
Yes.
possible, you really have to go through a lot. So that not
Absolutely.
understanding that and giving the comment, it really hurts. So these are the sum of the comments, and we know as women how many comments we get, and we process them on a daily basis without even knowing it. So these are some of the
Absolutely.
glimpses. But then the second part, coming to the second part of the question, how do you handle?
It's a blessing to have somebody who understands you, because it's important that we ventilate it out.
Yeah.
Because I'm a person, when I ventilate, I express, I automatically feel lighter, I feel clearer. It could even, sometimes there have been criticisms which have even brought a tear to my eye,
Yeah.
but I let it flow.
Yeah.
So once I do that, I feel lighter. I'm able to, like, I pause, I take a little time off, and then I look at it in perspective. I think that's something that I do. And again, like I said again, understanding the intent behind it. Sometimes the criticism may be with good intentions.
Yeah.
Somebody really cares, but they're not able to express it in a healthy way. Not everybody knows the art of giving feedback, right?
Yeah.
So sometimes if I feel that the person is really invested in you and has some good intentions, I would still look at it logically. I would incorporate the good part and then try to discard the bad part.
Very nice.
So these are a couple of things. Maybe, like I said, journaling, taking a pause, evaluating, after sensing the intention, looking at the good part or the one that is valid, incorporating it, and then trying to reject and discard, and trying to forget the part that is maybe irrelevant.
Very
So
nice.
this is a process that I follow.
Very nice, very nice. I think our audience will benefit a lot from the tips that you're giving, because criticism happening is one thing. Letting that criticism affect your life is another
Yes.
thing. These days I'm
Yes.
reading a book that you must have seen a lot of posts on it, The Myth of Normal, where Gabor Maté says that trauma is not what happened to you, it is what happens within you. So after you
Yes.
get that criticism, what is happening within you is really going to determine that you're going to affect it
Yes.
by it or not.
Yes.
Okay, so your turn.
Also, I wanted to add, Dr. Swayam, that I think having a healthy and secure self-esteem and self-worth is the key.
Yes.
Because if you're shaky and insecure, then I think the world can throw a lot of dirt at you, and
Definitely.
you're going to absorb the dirt.
Definitely, having a
So
secure
it's-
self-worth
yes.
is the key to any
Yes.
kind of success. Without that, you cannot
Absolutely.
just. These days, it's our culture is so toxic. We have so instant access. Anybody can abuse you in the Instagram DM. Anybody can say you
Yes.
anything. So if you don't have a healthy self-worth, it's definitely going to be very hard for any kind of journey. Yeah. So your
Yes.
turn now.
Okay, since I wanted to ask you that you just mentioned some time back about people saying that, oh, she could be selfish or she could be self-centered. And maybe in your case, you are an alpha woman. I believe that you are highly achievement-oriented. You are the alpha, and you are unstoppable in a way. You've not really been oversensitive. You're a sensitive person, but you've not been oversensitive to other people's opinions. So that could also bother people, that when they say that you're too selfish, too self-centered, or whatever all these statements. What is your message to yourself and also to every other woman like you, who's maybe struggling with, not struggling, but I would say a woman like you? There are so many women like you who would want to, who look up to you, who are following you, and who want to, who are balancing their personal life and the responsibilities, and also the professional life, and fulfilling their dreams. So when they hear statements that they're selfish, or they want it all, or they're over ambitious, or self-obsessed, or whatever, these tags, what is the message to yourself which I think will also help such women following you?
Yeah. This is such a question that I get asked very commonly, that how to handle the statements like selfishness, self-obsessed. Any
Yeah.
strong women, any strong men or women per se, let's not discriminate here, has to be focused on themselves to grow themselves into a person that the world will benefit from. So I see it in a very separate way. I see it in a way that, okay, I got up in the morning, there is something going on in the house. So if I am selfish here, that I am not involving myself in the matter of the house, and I'm saving my energy because I have to go and see 10 patients. So am I selfish or am I selfless for those 10 patients? So I see it in a very different way. If I am
Yes,
saving
that's a perspective.
1 hour of my time, and I am writing 20 pages of a book that is going to transform life of 100, 200 people. So am I selfish
Yes.
if I am closing the door and writing those books? So there are different perspectives of seeing at it.
Beautiful. This is
So
such a
people,
perspective. Thank you so much.
I
Yes.
have given this perspective to so many women. As you know,
It's
I treat
beautiful.
so many
Yes.
doctors, so many, achievement oriented women who are daily criticized for being selfish. It's good to look up to your family, but some women are just not meant for only for the family, they're meant for the whole world. Women like you, women like
Yes.
me, we are not meant to benefit
Thank
4
you.
5 people, 10 people, 20 people. We are there to benefit millions of people. So whenever somebody calls me selfish, I mentally recount how many patients, how many people have read my books and benefited, how many people have read my quotes and benefited, and I
Oh,
can see the number, I cannot count. So this one person calling me selfish doesn't really matter to me. You can call me
absolutely.
selfish how much you can, because I
I
know.
think that's such a perspective.
Yes,
Yes.
because I know what I am doing. It's going to impact millions of life, not only now, even when I am not there, it is going to continue impacting the life, the books I write, the quotes I do. So when you know your own worth, when you know impact of your work, you really don't get affected by what people are saying, because you really know what I am doing and why I am doing. In fact,
It's
I'll tell
beautiful. Really, really
you,
helpful.
there has been very tough choices in my life. There was a time when I had to give my PG entrance exam, and the same day my grandmother died. So I had to choose between giving the exam and attending the funeral. So that was a very tough decision of my life, but I choose to give the exam. Sometimes, because if I don't give the exam, I'll not be a postgraduate doctor. Again, I thought of those millions of people that I'm going to serve, and not only my family. So there are times where you have to really take tough decisions, and being doctors ke life mein this kind of decisions do come a lot. During COVID, so many doctors sacrifice their own family, compromise their own family for taking care of people. So your vision, if it is clear, then you know what you are and what. Okay. So
Abhi,
yeah, it
okay.
happened. So my third question and the last question, this game is so exciting, I don't want to end it, but then, like every good thing, this has to end. So the last good thing is that when you go on a self growth journey, any kind of new journey, like recently you have won the national pageant and you are going for the international one, so this is a great transformative journey. So how the people around you are taking it, what kind of resistance do you have to face, seeing the new you, how are they reacting?
I think it's a mixed reaction. There's a lot of excitement, there's a lot of enthusiasm, there's a lot of support, and people are proud. Okay, especially for the new journey of going international.
Yeah.
Yet there could be subtle, sometimes a surprise. And if you start putting yourself before, like
Yeah,
if
yeah.
I would, like I say, take that little time off to
Yeah, yeah.
work on
Yeah.
something to relate it to pageantry, there would be surprise. So either people express it openly, or they don't express it, or sometimes they support you openly, or they might not support you. All of this happens.
Yeah.
But I think in the middle of all of this, the only thing that has helped is we have to understand that every day is different. There are days when you are at your 100% with all the energy and resources, and there are days when you would be low. So I feel one thing is, apart from people around us, it's up to us to not be so harsh on ourselves.
Yes, definitely.
I think that's the only thing that is helping me. If someday I'm not able to give 100% because there have been environmental influences of people, the people factor. It could be at work, it could be anywhere. So I feel that, okay, maybe today I'm giving 90% to this, but let me not be harsh on myself. The next day, I would maybe give 100% to my pageantry preparation. So it's all. I think I don't know whether I'm able to get through to you, but I think yeah.
So you have to sail through this, turbulent storm sometimes. Sometimes the sea is calm, sometimes there is storm. So it's not a very gradient, thing to sail through. It's a very
Yes.
unpredictable kind of journey, and you have to be very compassionate with yourself to sail through this,
Yes. Yes.
unpredictable journey where a lot of surprises do pop in from outside people, from your own people, from people you haven't expected that they will tell this way, they tell certain things. So this journey,
Yes.
your journey of self growth will always bring out the harsh realities of your life. That's what it is.
Yes. Yes. Dr. Swayam, I want to ask you that what is can you tell about a couple of quick techniques, which will help a person to quickly forget about the bad effects of especially unfair criticism and then
Yes, totally.
come back to functioning well and, what are your quick techniques that will help everyone watching?
Yeah, so as a practicing psychiatrist, I would tell you I see more of female patients these days after I have started my own clinical practice, and a lot of female patients, do you know what their stressor is? The stressor is that somebody at home is criticizing me, somebody at college is criticizing me, somebody at workplace is criticizing me. So I have seen why this topic came to my mind, because when you write the prescription, at the top of it you write stressor. So I was seeing that constantly I'm writing the stressor at criticism. So then I realized, oh my god, this is such a common thing in everyone's life. So we should discuss it. So what I tell all my patients is, all my clients, friends, and even I do it for myself, is when I get up, I take 5-10 minutes time to reassure my self-worth that okay, I am this, I am beautiful, I am enough, I am capable. Whatever I'm doing,
Yes.
whatever my vision is, that I am going international, I am going to represent India, I am very proud of myself. So I already overflow myself with so many statements in the morning itself. Or you can do the mirror exercise, you can look at yourself in the mirror and so tell these affirming statements, so that your mind is now filled with your statements and it's not empty for other statements to come in. Getting it? So when I go to work, or when I'm going to some place, or somebody's telling something, now my mind doesn't have that kind of empty space for you to fill in something, because I already know who I am, what my life is, and what my day is going to be about. So that is a technique I personally use, and I've told a lot of people, and that has definitely helped them. Also, along with this, you can also remind yourself, periodic reminders of your self-worth, I call it, every 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
6 hours, like you remind yourself for drinking water. This is something very essential, that the most important thing
Yes.
is, I think the most important technique to combat criticism is understanding yourself. In this journey of self growth, understanding yourself is a very important part. When you start understanding yourself, oh, this is my weak areas, this is my strength, these are the areas that people can criticize me on. When you are already aware of it, suppose I know I am bad at singing, if somebody comes and tell me you are a bad singer, will I get affected? No. So
Not much.
it's
Yes.
always very good to have a analysis of your strength and weakness, what you call a SWOT analysis.
Yes.
So when I know my strength, suppose I know I'm good at speaking, somebody comes and tells me, no, Dr. Swami, you are a very bad speaker. Doesn't matter. I know I'm the best speaker. I know that I'm bad in singing. Somebody comes and tell me you're a bad singer. That even doesn't affect me, because I already know I'm a bad singer. So when you know what your status is, when you know what your reality is, I don't think external influences are going to influence you.
And thank you so much for these techniques. I also want to add that sometimes the image that you have about yourself, suppose with criticism, if someone criticizes that you're nervous, if my image also changes,
Yeah.
that I picturize myself as a
Yeah.
nervous person, then that also could take a toll. So I think somewhere along with these techniques, having visualizing yourself as confident, visualizing yourself as very calm, has also helped for me.
Yes. Confidence, definitely. Touched upon
Yes,
this
of course. The imagery is very important
Very
of what
important,
image
very
you have about yourself.
And I'll tell you about
Yes.
confidence. You touched a very good point. Confidence is a great tool for combating criticism. Confidence is what? Confidence is ultimately knowing yourself, your strength and weakness that I told you. That is what confidence is. When I know that I am this, I know I am a good speaker, I know I am a good doctor. So if you come and tell me in my face, no, you are the worst, doesn't matter, because I know I'm the best. So that kind of mindset we need to have. For this, I'll recommend one one YouTube video to the speakers, and I have personally used it for years. Lot many people have asked me that, doctor, how did you crack so many exams? I had been on a 10 years ka ride was going on when I was cracking exams, when I'm cracking interviews, I'm going to best places to work, because I always used to work on my self-worth. And that one video, I'll tell you, I have watched for years together every morning. That is by Sandeep Mysori, I Am the Best. I recommend everyone to watch that video and if possible incorporate in their life. It may sound a little narcissistic while listening to it, but you don't know how massive impact it has on your life. It has had on my life, and it's going to have it on anyone who is going to listen it. So that is my recommendation. There are a lot of good books you can read about handling criticism and handling. We'll give it in our Instagram, the list of books and the materials that people can use. So that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
This is the best Radiant Women podcast I ever had, and looking forward to so many more podcasts with you, because when there is friendship, when there is compassion, and when there is understanding about each other, so many beautiful things just come up like that. Don't you think so?
Absolutely. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and I'm definitely looking forward to more such exciting podcasts which can also make a difference to people watching us.
Yes, exactly.
So thank you so much for having me on your show.
So this is a way of this is our way of impacting the world through the power of pageantry, and ultimately it's not about who you are becoming, it is about sharing with the world what you have become. So that's our message for today. So bye bye, see you all again.
Thank you everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.